Paying $1,150 a month for this Tesla.
Yeah.
Why would you modify a lease? I'm just curious.
I've had a lot of people ask me how the heck I ran up over $55,000 worth of credit card debt.
All right, so we're going to be starting off with car debt as usual because it's one of the biggest type of debts holding people back. After that, getting into a new type we haven't covered on the channel before. And honestly, I think it's one of the worst types of debt.
2025, we're still getting plenty of people with lots of negative equity and high interest auto loans and high auto payments. One follower that contacted me who has a 2020 Tesla Model 3, they have extreme negative equity. They're paying $1,150 a month.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? This is Yusuf.
Hey, how you doing, man? I'm good.
I'm doing good. So, all right, tell me a little bit about it.
2018 Land Rover that I traded in. It had some negative equity. Traded in. I'll get myself an electric car. I'm making the payments on time. No issues there. But I still have about 4 years to go on the loan. Not actually 3 years to go on the loan. I just do a self-repossession and take the credit hit.
A voluntary repo sounds better than it really is. You're not escaping the loan, you're still stuck with the bill. Most of the time you're left with thousands of dollars of debt, plus fees, plus credit damage. You lose the car, but you keep the debt. It's one of the most expensive ways to walk away from a car loan.
So we have my mortgage, I have my house, I have another mortgage for a rental property. I don't plan on buying anything anytime soon. So I was like, man, if I just let it go, I can use those $1,200 for, cut off some credit card debt and start saving some money,
How much you buy it for? What was your interest rate?
So I got it for about $40,000, $12,000 in negative equity from the Land Rover. But the interest rate might be 13. I can't recall off the top of my head right now.
How much you owe right now, 3 years later?
I want to say 43, 42.
You bought a $40,000 Tesla at 13% interest, plus the $12,000 you rolled in. And even after paying $1,100 a month for 3 years, he still owes over $42,000. He's basically paid the price of the car already, and the balance barely moved. That's what high interest does, you pay a ton. And almost none of it goes to the actual car until later on.
Okay. And how many miles are on the Tesla?
9,000.
Oh, about $25,000 in negative equity on this car. You're saying that you're one to just have the bank come repossess it. And your credit score right now?
Probably high 600s.
Okay. Model 3, the refresh already came out, so the old Model 3s are tanking really bad.
To get into another car finance, I would need, a good 15K?
I would say as close as you can get to the negative equity part that you have. So maybe let's call it $20,000 just to have about $5,000 you roll over into.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't have that at the moment.
How much money do you make a month?
Probably about 10.
$10,000 a month.
Definitely saved another 5-7 G's in the next 2-3 months and get rid of that negative equity.
What really surprised me is he's asking about financing another car. He was talking about taking care of his credit card debt. He could use the extra money, but somehow he's ready for another loan. Giving this one up and jumping into a new payment doesn't make any sense.
Cool. I'll give him a call, and then if I have any more questions, I'll hit you up.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate your call, man. Thanks
No problem. Absolutely. Bye. I get more and more of these calls a day where people are completely upside down. They're still paying $1,000 plus for a car or a EV car. Please, when you're buying a vehicle, make sure that you buy it at the bottom of the depreciation curve and always look at your exit strategy. Make sure that you're in a position where if you have a trade-in, you're not pulling over too much negative equity into the trade onto the new vehicle, and always make sure you understand your financial situation because things can change. Life is fragile. You don't want to be in a situation where you owe $15,000, $20,000, maybe $30,000 in negative equity and you're stuck with a payment of $1,000, $1,500 a month on a car or a truck, and you have to tell the bank to come pick it up, ruin your credit, and wait 2 to 3 years for your credit to be in a decent spot for you to get another cheap car at a high interest rate. So it's a cyclical life. So better financial decisions.
He said things can change, life is fragile. And that's something I mentioned many times on the channel. You never really know what's going to happen. And that's something I'm dealing with right now. My entire situation changed overnight. I'll be moving and I'll likely be paying a lot more in rent living on my own. Luckily, I don't have any debt to get in the way. If I had a big car payment and a lot of credit card debt, this would be so much harder. And this is exactly why I talk about stuff like this all the time.
I don't understand. The vehicle's a lease?
Absolutely correct.
Why would you modify a lease? I'm just curious. It's very random. Like, you don't even own the car.
Gonna pay out the car and keep it. I'm a pilot. Some of the job opportunities that I am getting currently, they're all based like up north. It doesn't make sense to take a car that I won't really be able to drive it in the snow.
You have a plane you want to sell?
Not yet.
I think it's safer to fly a plane than drive this Mustang. What's the buyout?
$55,830.
They have so much mods, it's very hard to sell it.
Dealers offered me about $50 to $800.
You should take it. It's a very strong offer. If you bring it back to stock, you could buy them retail for less. They're selling in the 40s.
Correct, yes.
So why would they give you 52?
52 including taxes and everything.
Oh, it's a trade-in.
No trade-in. Gave me 51,700 something.
And the thing is, because of the modifications, it voids the warranty. You know?
Absolutely correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
So it's like,
yes.
realistically, I'd give you 40 grand for it, bro.
Oh, 40?
So he was modding the car because he planned to buy it out, and I get that. But now his plans have changed, and that's the problem. We don't actually own the car, life can change so quickly. A breakup, a move, a job change, and then that buyout doesn't make sense anymore. And the money he put into the mods, he's not getting back.
So the devil knows exactly what he's doing. I've had a lot of people ask me how the heck I ran up over $55,000 worth of credit card debt. And the short answer is online gambling. So now I'm going to go a little story time, so I hope you stick around and listen. So my husband and I have always liked to go to the casinos together. It's something we enjoy doing, but we would take a certain amount of money, and once we ran out, we would come home. Well, when COVID hit, everything changed, and a lot of these little towns opened up their own little casinos. And so we were at one a while back, and there was a guy sitting next to my husband, and I had recognized him, like I had kind of knew who he was in a roundabout way. And he was telling my husband how his wife gets upset at him because he online gambles a lot, but that she's not upset when he gets the deposit, of like 5,000 or 8,000. Then she's happy that he does it.
Now, this is something I completely avoid. I've worked with too many people who got caught up in it, and seeing what they go through, how desperate they become, is something I never want to experience. I've watched guys blow their entire paycheck in an hour. One even asked me to borrow thousands to pay off his debt so he could keep going.
And so my husband really wasn't paying attention, but I was listening. So we left and never thought anything else about it. Well, one day we were sitting at home, and where we live, we don't have any, like our town doesn't have any of those little casinos. The closest one's like an hour and 45 minutes. Well, I wanted to do some gambling, and that's what changed everything. I got on Facebook and I was determined to find this guy. So I found him and I looked through his friends list, and lo and behold, I was able to find the online gambling place that he would use. And so it was downhill from there. I got hooked up with him. It was super easy. And before I knew it, we were in so much credit card debt that, it was so bad that I had opened up a PayPal credit card, and the credit limit was $6,700, and in 2 days I had ran that card up. It was just that.
Online gambling has become one of the fastest ways to destroy your finances. It might not even feel like real money. You're just tapping a button on your phone. And unlike a casino, there's nothing forcing you to slow down or walk away. It's 24/7 access to losing money. And I myself want nothing to do with it.
I owe $8,000 on a credit card, and that stems from a gambling issue that I had years ago that is no longer a problem. I balance transferred that money to a 0% interest card for 15 months. I have $20,000 in cash and savings. I have a truck payment. I drive a F-150 Raptor used. I owe $28,000 on the truck. I make roughly $100,000 a year, and I'm 26 years old. So the question here, and what my friends are advising me to do, George, is for me to take the $20,000 that I have in cash and put all $20,000 towards my truck and my credit card debt. And the pushback that I gave to them, George, is that I don't want to completely wipe out my cash that I have on hand in case of an emergency.
I've been in a similar situation myself. I had debt and I also had savings. And the amount in my savings was almost enough to wipe out the debt completely. All I had to do was transfer it, but it's surprisingly hard. Just seeing that positive number in your account makes the debt feel less urgent. It tricks you into thinking you're still doing okay.
You can hang on to the debt as long as you want and hang on to the emergency fund as long as you want. What we have found is that people generally get comfortable with their debt when they have a pile of money in savings. And so it's actually psychologically going to take you longer to pay off the debt because you don't feel the fire that is actually happening in your backyard right now. And so I think if you put 19 of that 20 toward the debt, that would knock out your credit cards completely, giving you a lot of momentum, and knock out a significant portion of your car loan.
Yeah, the issue that I have, George, is I'm become cheap because because of the issue that I had years ago with gambling. I lost pretty much everything, but I've rebuilt what I had lost, and it felt good to save that money back. And obviously, I know I have 20,000 minus 8K in credit cards, so I have 12, and then I basically have a negative net worth with my car payment and my car loan. It's just me being kind of impatient of like, oh my gosh, I have to start over again.
Yeah.
Paying off your debt with your savings is one of the smartest moves you can make. But for a lot of people, it feels like the wrong decision. Savings feel safe. They feel like protection. Even if you have debt, seeing that balance makes you think everything is fine, even when it isn't.
Feels like you're going back to rock bottom.
You know,
there's a legitimate scarcity mindset there.
You've hacked your way to safety, meaning you've done some amazing work to get yourself a bunch of cash. And instead of leaning on gambling, instead of leaning on excitement, instead of leaning on what's the next like cool thing, now you're leaning on something else, which is cash, as this warm blanket to keep you safe.
And that's what I feel daily. When I look at my bank account, I see 20 grand. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. Like
it is.
I remember when I didn't have anything.
But you still haven't finished the gambling debt. Yeah.
This guy doesn't want to touch his savings because he feels like he's going to be starting over. I know that feeling, but you're not starting over. You're fixing the problem. Debt is what keeps you stuck. Having savings doesn't fix anything if the debt is still there.
Yeah.
I just need to just get to the point of being comfortable with saying, all right, I'm going to spend $8,000.
That's not how comfort works. Comfort is through the other side of discomfort. And you have this big, uncomfortable path ahead of you, and you're not walking through it. The true exhale you're looking for is on the other side of finally being done with all of the gambling stuff. It's going to be uncomfortable to write an $8,000 check. Send it. Send it today. And be forever done with both the action of gambling and the consequences of that.
I've never been a gambler, but I understand the debt part of it. Debt affects everything. Your stress, your decisions, your relationships. It hangs over you in ways you don't even notice until it's gone. Cleaning it up isn't just about money. It's about getting your life back. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. Just start, keep going, and don't let it control your future. I'm going to end the video here and ask you to hit that like and subscribe button. Drop a comment below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.